What is up, everyone? All right, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, what's up? We do a lot of drugstore makeup talk here on my channel, and I do a lot of drugstore dupes videos. So this is our newest episode, if you will, in this series. If you want to watch more of them, I'll link the playlist below. But I have a grouping of, I think, 7 different high-end products I like. A few caveats. Maybe I don't love them, but other people do. We'll get there. But I found really good dupes for them. And so I was totaling, I don't usually do this part of it. I was totaling how much the high-end products cost, like in total, hence the word totaling, Jessica, come on. Anyway, and then I totaled the dupes price. So in total, the high-end products together would cost $237. Our dupes total is $66. I think that's awesome. So I'm excited. You'll get to see, I have half of them on one half of my face, half on the other. You'll get to see them being applied. So you'll really see what they look like when they're pitted up next to each other. Let's dive in. Also, I was laughing. I wasn't sure if I should wear my headband today or not. And I always like leave it here where I'm getting ready. Because a lot of times I'll just use it in my hair to hold my hair back while I'm getting ready, but then I'll take it out. But I really like it. And so I feel like I end up wearing it in so many videos. Some of you guys have to be turned up, but I really think it's cute. Also in, and just like that, I feel like Carrie is always wearing pearls, and she did like in the movies too. And so I'm like, I'm digging pearls right now. Okay, just let me have this moment. So we're gonna go in order of how I applied these today. First thing is this primer from Rare Beauty. This is called the Pore Diffusing Primer. It retails for $26. This is one of the couple that is not like an absolute favorite of mine. And in this case, I actually think the drugstore version is better. Yes, I love it. There's actually a few products where I think the drugstore one is better, and I'll try to share that each time. But this is pore diffusing to a point where I do feel like it fills in a little bit, but I just feel like it still remains a little bit slippery. So if you are someone with drier skin and you just want a little bit of pore filling, you might like it better than other ones that are almost a little bit more drying and mattifying. But I just don't notice, I think, enough of a difference to like want to reach for this all the time. I do think it looks nice though. So the dupe I found for it is $10, and it is the Milani No Pore Zone Mattifying Primer. When I've put these up against each other, I feel that they're so similar, but I feel like the Milani one is just slightly more mattifying and it's slightly more pore filling. And I feel like that's because once I blend the Milani one into the skin, it actually kind of stays put. It doesn't keep that kind of hydrating feeling, but it also doesn't make your skin look dry. I don't want to scare you off. I have normal to dry skin. I still like this. So out of the two, the one I've actually reached for the most, because I've had both of them here, is the Milani one. So I feel like that kind of tells me I really do like this one better, and you can save, $16. And I think you're getting the better product there. So that was an exciting one to kind of discover. And it is wild. I feel like in the range of pore filling primers, there are so many different kinds. Like one of the ones I was like, oh, let me try this up against the Milani one is, if I can get it out, the NARS Soft Matte Primer. But this one is different because it comes out like a white lotion. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how I feel about this one yet. This one is still newer to me. But just worth mentioning, I feel like there's just so many different kinds of pore filling primers. And I would say that these fall in the medium range, where there's certainly more pore filling primers out there, but there's also some that are more like slippery. These are kind of in the middle. I'm not sure if any of that made any sense. I need like a sparkling water or something. I just walked into here and it just smells like hairspray in here. I've never noticed that smell, but I don't know if it's like a combination of just watching a bunch of products in the last hour. Anyway, dusting off an old classic, Pamplemousse from LaCroix, or LaCroix, as my husband so lovingly calls it. This is the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer. This has SPF of 25, retails for $39. This is one I like. It's not my favorite tinted moisturizer ever, but it is one of the best ones I have tried. So I really do like it. And I feel like it gives medium coverage, especially after you put on a second layer of this. I really feel like one layer looks fine, but for me, I like just having just a little bit more coverage, and you can layer it. I do feel like it's slightly buildable, and that's why I've liked this over the past year. And if you're curious, I have the shade Fair Light, but I like that it feels moisturizing and it's got some sun protection. I still would put an SPF underneath it anyway, but it's nice that it has that in there too. But another product I really liked separately And I feel like this has been a dupe for quite a few other products I've loved over the years, is from Wet n Wild. It's their tinted hydrator. This has hyaluronic acid and squalane. It's oil-free, and it says it's got sheer to medium coverage. Now, this does not have SPF. I mean, I don't know if that's make or break it for you, but if it was, the Wet n Wild one does not. But that does make me think, however, you know, when something's got SPF in it, it does have a very specific kind of expiration date. And so it makes me wonder if the Wet n Wild one would like last you longer if you knew you weren't gonna use it up. But you guys, these look the same on the skin. They really do. Like, I'm trying to detect a difference. I think maybe the Wet n Wild one is slightly more hydrating, but coverage level the same. The final product, they're not even like the same shade. They still look similar on my skin, even knowing that half of it is with a slightly different shade than this. But the finish is similar. I mean, it's very hard to detect a difference. I think maybe the Smashbox one is slightly, and I really mean slightly thicker. I mean, it's not a thick product, but it's slightly thicker. I just really like both. You really don't have to spend the money. You don't. If you're wanting the same kind of light to medium finish, hydrating, easy to apply, blends in really, really fast, you could really go either way. And in this case, you know, the Wet n Wild one is, how much is it exactly? Yeah, $5, so you could save 34 bucks. I mean, take your pick. And I should take a moment to say, I know, I'm fully aware, I've been doing this a long time. I know that obviously ingredients are gonna be different. So if that's something you're really looking into, it may be the case, not always, trust me, but it may be the case that some of the higher end brands, you might be paying for better ingredients in there. So that's something you can look into on your own. That's on you, I'll do me, you do you, you know. But I like sharing about these because I know, you know, for a lot of us, the bottom line is how much it costs. If I can't afford it, I can't afford it. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter what's in it. So just worth mentioning that certainly you know, can look into the ingredients and make that decision for yourself. I mean, that's a personal decision. Okay. Oh, okay. This may be the reason you clicked on this video. I don't know. I think that I found a dupe for the Kosas Cloud Set Powder. And I've loved the dupe for a very long time, and I hadn't really realized why I liked the Kosas one so much until I realized, oh, because it reminds me of this old school Holy Grail product I've loved for years. So the Kosas Cloud Set Powder, that one retails for $34. Pretty pricey, and I know this has gotten so much traction in the past year because it's a really, really beautiful powder. I like it because it has a little bit of coverage. It just diffuses the skin. It makes it look more perfected, kind of like, you know, when you do an Instagram story or something and you swipe once and you get the Paris filter, is that what it's called? That's what I feel like this kind of gives the skin in real life. You know what I mean? Maybe toned down a notch, but very similar. I really think it makes a difference, and I just love it. And the bonus points because you can use this on your under eye. So I made the connection that one of my favorite under eye powders is from the brand number 7. You can get this, it's $12.99 at Target. I think you can get it at Walgreens as well. No, I know you can. This is something I've loved for years. It might be the best under eye powder ever. Seriously, it's also, I think, a dupe for like the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. I've talked about that in a past video. But when I started trying this all over the face, because I just kind of always use this on my under eye and I didn't often try it all over my face. But once I started doing that again, I realized, wait a minute, it gives that same kind of diffused look to the skin that the Kosas one does. So these are two very different shades. You know what I mean? So I think I would like this even more all over my face if I got a shade up, because I don't like, I mean, this is lighter than my skin. It works great for the under eyes, but I think if I get one shade up, I would love it even more all over the face. But same kind of diffused look. I would say if you've been thinking about the Kosas, but you're like, I really can't afford $34, or you don't want to spend $34 in that way, maybe give this one a try. I'll tell you right now, even if you don't like it all over your face, this will be your favorite under eye powder. I don't have a doubt in my mind. It's so freaking good. And I always say, if you're gonna get on Target and place a Target order, while you're at it, add to your cart the 2-pack. I add it every time I check out a Target. A 2-pack of the little Aquaphor tubes, because it's my favorite lip balm, and it's not Aquaphor lip balm. I know some of you guys are like, we know it is. It's not Aquaphor lip balm, it's Aquaphor, but it's in a smaller tube because they are different. That is my favorite thing on my lips. I've been using it for years and I always run out, so I'm constantly buying that little 2-pack, and it's hard to find that 2-pack. So add that to your cart too. I'll link it below, but then when you're adding this. Okay. So that was an exciting discovery. I actually think too, the number 7 might have a slight bit more coverage than the Kosas one does. I mean, it'd be slight, but I do think, because the Kosas is not like a powder foundation. But by the way, one of my favorites, I like the red one and the white one of the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. They're both so good. The white one I like a little more because I do have drier skin. I think if you have oily skin, you might like this one more. Those are some fantastic powder foundations, and they happen to be at the drugstore. So in that case, you would have saved $21, by the way, if you do get the dupe. And it's worth mentioning that with the Smashbox and the Wet n Wild, you would save $34 if you go with the dupe. All right, this would have been another reason maybe some of you guys clicked on this video. This Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand, it's the blush one. This sucker sells out constantly. Every time I've ever tried to link it for you guys, it is always sold out like everywhere. It is a beautiful blush product, beautiful. And so there's, I mean, I get it. There's a reason everyone raves about it and everyone's constantly buying it, but it is how much? Yeah, $40. That is pricey. They have a highlight version of this. They have a contour version. I like them all. I really do. This is beautiful. I like to apply it best, honestly, with my finger. I'll get a little bit on my hand, use my finger to tap it on, blend it with another finger, and it's just easy and it's really pretty. I have a highlighter on today, but you don't really need a highlighter with it because it has this gorgeous glow to it. So I have found so far the closest dupe I can find, and it's pretty close. It's from Ulta Beauty. It is the Stay Cheeky Liquid Blush. Now, packaging wise, right off the bat, this is different because the Charlotte Tilbury has like the little squeezy sponge, and this one is just a squeezy tube. You might actually prefer the tube to the sponge, but this is the shade Dusty Pink. And by the way, this is in Pinkgasm, the blush I have. Now, showing you the two swatches right here, they're not exactly the same, but the magic happens when you start putting it on your cheeks. So I apply it the same way. It looks the same. I do think I need a little bit more of the Ulta product to get the same look. Like it might be slightly less pigmented, but after I put on a second layer, they're so similar. It's hard to know the difference. And the price differential is crazy. So yeah, the Ulta blush is $12. So you're saving $28. Plus half the time, even if you wanted to spend the $40, you can't find it in stock anywhere. So I wanted to mention that. I feel like Ulta is one of those brands. I did do a video like a full face of Ulta products, the best and the worst, because Ulta constantly has those sales that are like, buy two, get 50 products, Ulta brand free. Like they're just dying to get people to try stuff from their brand. And they actually do have some good stuff. So if you were thinking about like taking advantage of one of those sales, I would definitely include this in your cart there because I really think it is so beautiful. You can save some money, honey. You wanna know what else I'm wearing? I'm wearing the e.l.f. I went really simple with my lips today, the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss. I love this stuff. It's very slightly plumping. And so it's a very slight tingle, probably the least amount of tingle of, I've tried a lot of plumping glosses. We're gonna talk about a few in a second, but it's the slightest tingle of them all, but it does kind of plump. And this color, I think it's pretty to just throw it all over the lips and that's it. No liner, nothing. I have it in Champagne Glam. It's really comfy, you guys. All right, so another blush. So I did put this blush on top of the other because I wanted to show you and I was like, I'm not wiping all my makeup off to do that. So just deal with it, guys. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. But it is the bareminerals bronzer. This I have in Kiss of Pink, and it is so pretty. And I think it's already been discontinued. I know it was limited edition. bareminerals, you're making a huge mistake. Make these permanent. People love them. What are you doing? Anyway, it is so stunning. Or maybe like make the bronzer a part of your bareminerals Gen Nude line or something, but don't change the formula because this is even better. Okay, anyway, no one from bareminerals is listening, I know. So this is $26 and it is just one of those really pretty glowy blushes. I just love it so much. But this, and you're gonna laugh because this has been a dupe for a lot of high-end blushes. So it's making me realize, is this one of the best drugstore blushes that exist? Maybe. And it's one no one talks about. It's from Neutrogena. It's their Healthy Skin Blush. You either find it in store or you don't find it anywhere. Like I found this on Amazon, which is what I'll link. It's like $6, so it's inexpensive. The shade in particular I'm talking about is in number 10, Rosy. This is so similar. I do think the bronzer shade-wise is just a little bit deeper. You can see that. But the way they look on the skin and the way the light catches them, that's what the magic to me of the bronzer is. It's the way it reflects light. And the Neutrogena one has that same exact quality where it's not a huge amount of shimmer where you're like, whoa, that's a glowy blush. It's just the right amount that you're like, it's just beautiful. Again, you don't really need a highlighter with it. So healthy looking. So you can save, yeah, like $20 by getting the dupe for this one. And it's just absolutely stunning. All right, this was one of my bigger splurges this past year. And it's from Christian Dior. And it is the Dior Forever highlighting powder. I have it in Nude Glow. And the thing that I think is so beautiful about this is the packaging. Honestly, it's like quilted. And man, I don't know. That is exactly why I bought it. I'm gonna be very clear here. But beyond that, it really is a pretty highlighter. And I think what's unique about this is that it is a very thin formula and it's not the most highlighty, glowy highlighter you've ever tried. It really is more of like a medium level where you're gonna see it, and I'm wearing it today right here. You're gonna see it, but there are certainly way more glowy highlighters out there. You know what I'm saying? So I've loved it for that. I feel like I can be kind of sloppy with it and it's not like it's still gonna look really nice. Like I actually know what I'm doing, which I don't. I really like it. So I realized I was kind of swatching and just like looking. I was like, I wonder if I have a dupe for this. And I came across this one. It's the Milani Strobe Light. You may recall I've talked about the Milani Baked Highlighter before. This one's different. This is the Strobe Light. The Baked Highlighter is one of my favorites. It's so good. But this one is not quite as punchy as that. And that is why I feel like it's a pretty darn good dupe for this. Now the shades of these two are not exactly the same. They have multiple shades of both of them, so you could get one maybe closer, but it really is that finish of this where it's that medium level of highlighter like across the board. It's not super frosty. It just looks nice. So I've got that one over there. Looks pretty on the brow bone. I have them on my brow bone too. I just love these. I feel like they're really good everyday highlighters, so you can totally save the money. You'll be missing out on the beautiful packaging, but obviously that doesn't really matter. And the price difference here, the Dior one is $48 and the Milani one is $10. So you'd save 38 bucks. Other than the shade being slightly different, they are the same product. They look so similar. I am flying through this video, you guys. I did so many long videos doing my like best of the year of makeup, worst of the year of makeup, and then like my best everything else, like clothes, loungewear, Target stuff, kitchen. If you want to see those videos, I call them my Jammy Awards because my old screen name was Jam Beauty 89. I'll link them below because that was so fun. Oh, and I did my Amazon favorites of the year, which was a good one. So I feel like I've done so many long videos that it's always weird when I'm doing one that's shorter. I'm like, oh yeah, my videos don't have to be 45 minutes long. All right, so this next one is more of a discussion and less of a, this is a dupe, because it's not. But boy, oh boy, is there a huge similarity. It's the Fenty Heat Gloss. This stuff smells amazing. It smells like Bonnabelle lip glosses from the 90s in the best way. And this shade I have is called Hot Cherry number 01. And it gives, this may be one of the prettiest glosses I've ever put on my lips. I think because it is a little more sheer, it just looks pretty. I am not wearing it, nor did I do a close-up because it makes your lips burn so badly, like cinnamon red hot badly. I can't do it. I've tried it on in past videos if you want to see it. But I had a lot of questions from you guys, and I was also curious if this is a dupe for it. It's from Milani. It's their Keep It Full Max. Actually, it's a lip lacquer. So this is also plumping. It gives the exact same feeling the Fenty one does. And so that feeling is annoying, but it really does plump the lips. Like if you are wanting plumped lips, these actually do it, but these lip lacquers are way more pigmented. So the Fenty one is more transparent. This one is not. And now honestly seeing the name lip lacquer, that makes more sense. Now, Milani has their Keep It Full lip glosses without all of the X's. And those plump, but they don't feel quite the same as this. So if you want the plumping at a fraction of the cost, those are beautiful. I would go for those. These, if you think you can hang with that cinnamony burn, go for it. But yeah, I wanted to mention because the feeling and the plumping is exactly the same, but the actual formula themselves, like the pigmentation, is very, very different. So if you go into this thinking you're gonna get this, it's not quite the same because this is way more transparent. But the Fenty is 24 and the Milani is around 10. So you would say 14 bucks. But again, it's a different product, so it's not quite a dupe. It's like I said, just a discussion about it. So like I said, if you were to have bought all of the high-end products and all of the dupes, after the totals, the difference between them, you'd save $171. Now, obviously, the odds of you buying all, you're probably not going out and doing that. But it just really is wild. I think about that a lot. Like, obviously, with what I do, I try tons of all versions of makeup. Some of it's PR, some of it I buy. It's just a mix. But, if this was not what I did, I would save money where I can. And I just feel like a good product is a good product. It doesn't matter what brand it came from, because you know what? Some of the most expensive brands out there have made some real stinkers of products that people, you spend your money on and then you try and you think, this is awful. It's just awful. While I do think sometimes with high-end brands, you may be paying for better ingredients, you may be paying for better packaging, etc. But that's not always the case, because again, there's also some high-end products that you spend $50 on a palette and you're like, why does this feel so rickety? This feels like I spent $10 on it. And then you buy like a nice drugstore brand and you feel like the packaging might feel luxe, you know what I mean? So that's why I think these videos are so fun to do. I enjoy watching these kinds of videos too, because there is so much out there that has been duped where you can save money where you want. And then if you want to save up and buy a more expensive product, then you can, and you know you're kind of spending your money in the best way for the best product. That's all. I always feel like I need a monologue in these videos because it is very interesting how divided we all are. But besides that, how divided even in the makeup community it can be, because some people get really up in arms about like if I or a YouTuber, for example, uses only high-end makeup. And then there's the other half of people that get up in arms if you're only doing drugstore stuff, because they're like, I want to hear about the high-end stuff. So it's interesting. The dichotomy of that is very interesting to me. And I'm like, I feel like you could be somewhere in the middle, and maybe that's where most of us are, where you're in the middle. Like, you'd rather save money, but if there's something that's actually worth the price tag, then you kind of want to know about that too. So anyway, why am I even still talking here, guys? All right, I love you guys. I hope that you will subscribe. It helps me out so much more than you know. And on top of that, then you'll get to see anytime I'm uploading a new video, it will be in your subscription feed. It will recommend videos similar to my channel to you as well. That's one of those perks of subscribing to a channel you really like. Hopefully if you like it, my channel, I guess. But that's one of the perks. If you subscribe to a channel you like, YouTube is gonna recommend similar channels and videos to you as well, because they're gonna be like, okay, if you like this, then you might like this, you know? Thank you guys ahead of time for supporting me by subscribing. Comment below with what your favorite dupe that you've ever found is. I always like reading through those comments and adding some to my list to maybe try and see if I think they're a dupe too. And I guess that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Oh, and go watch some more of my dupe videos. That helps too. All right, bye.